Shalom. All praises, honor, and glorification unto our mighty, marvelous, and wonderful power. Call Halaim La Allahayanawa Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone whom rule well, and who are great examples to our younger brethren. Salutations as well as health and wellness unto the hopeful elect of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai scattered across the earth. This is your brother Allah coming to you with another lesson. And the title of this lesson will be as in response. The importance of the father selecting his daughter's husband. Right? And this lesson will be a land back off of the video that the elder brother put up, whose channel is entitled GMS Dedication, as you see. So, Lord willing, the elect of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai be edified. And what I'll do in this lesson is I'll play a few clips that I pulled from the elder brother's video. And then, Lord willing, get a good amount of scriptures and then close out. So, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Barakatham for putting that spirit upon me to do this lesson. And may you sincere sisters and few sincere Akwad be edified. Let's get into it. Right, I'm going to play it one more time and then pause it throughout and, make certain points. So. See, so, you heard her make her statement, and then Dad asked, well, if he has so many red flags, which what you women deem as red flags may not always be valid red flags. And what makes a so-called red flag valid is if it's in accordance with the word of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Right, because the word of the Lord is the absolute standard of right, wrong, true, false, so on and so forth. Right? The Bible is the standard of how things ought to be. So, just making that point, a lot of things that you women deem as red flags aren't valid red flags. Right? But then certain things you guys do deem as red flags are valid. But at the end of the day, man, you women are impudent and you're on a lower level than men, right? And it's clear as fucking the blue sky day that you guys aren't good at decision making. That's why you're in the fucked up positions that you're in. You're supposed to be under men, right? Initially under your father, and your father's to give you unto a man. And that of understanding. You see, you're to be under always under the jurisdiction of men, whether it be your father or your husband. Right? You see? So let's see. Let me get a few scriptures and then we'll move on. I want to get 1 Peter the 3rd chapter, verse 7. And Salaki, I think that there's another point I wanted to make. Let me see. Oh, and that's another thing. See, you women, and not just you women, but, you know, a lot of these guys as well, lack the understanding that sex is marriage, right? So it's like, you know, the seriousness of things has been diminished, right? Like, for example, you have the word wife, and then you have what they say nowadays, girlfriends, or, you know, you have this new term, what are they, skeleti and shit like that, you know, girlfriend and all that bullshit. See, that presents less seriousness than the word wife. And see, that's what it is. When you have sex with a woman, that's your wife. And more precisely, right, the first man that a woman sleeps with, that's her husband. And why is that? Well, because the first man she slept with, he slept with her in her virginity, right? And a part of virginity is when, you know, when a woman's hymen is broken, the blood springs forth, and that blood is a token of the covenant of that marriage, right? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's a scripture that says, there be no covenant without blood, roughly paraphrasing it. See, so that blood being that token of that marriage, Salaki, being that token of the woman's virginity, is the covenant of that marriage, that blood springing forth. So after you already had your virginity taken, there's no blood that springs forth. So there's no true, valid covenant made with the men you sleep with after after you slept with the first man, which is precisely your husband, right? But you motherfuckers out here don't know that, because you're stupid, man. You're Americans. You're sottish people. You don't know jack shit. You see? But see, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, ways, vibration, and customs of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai are going to be reestablished here upon earth, right? Following the establishment of the kingdom of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And that's going to set everything straight. See? Because you people are in need of help, man. The earth is in need of help. Everything needs fucking help. The animals, the ocean, us, goddammit, right? And that help is going to come. Indeed so, right? So let's continue on, man. And another point, man, you know, this may be a little lengthy lesson because we already 9 minutes in, right? But another thing is, women tend to operate more so off of wants. Men tend to operate more so off of needs. So it's not, oh, I want this, I want that. See, which we'll get into it, but a part of what the father does, and not only the father, but husbands as well. See, well, more so fathers, right? We instill and established the hedge, which are boundaries and standard. See? And, you know, really that's to be instilled in our way of thinking as men. You know? So, you know, when it comes to giving your daughter to a man of understanding, you're not operating off of wants. You're operating off of needs that this man needs to fucking meet. Right? You see? You're not operating off of wants. See, the women operate off of wants. I want this. I want him to have that. I want that. I want that. And most of the time, none of them fucking wants are necessities or significant. Right? This man needs to be this way. He needs to contain these characteristics. He needs to have this, mentality. He needs to, so on and so forth. Ain't no fucking wants. Right? So that's another point. Now let's move on, right? So now let me get a few more scriptures, right? Let me get 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, right? Going into the order that the Lord has established, right? 1 Corinthians 11:3, and it reads, "But I will have you know that the head of every man is the anointed, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of the anointed is the Most High." See? So men know men, right? Men know men. So only a man can decide whether this man is fit for his daughter. That's why when you look into the ancient times, right, you had the father and then you had the mother of the daughter. Well, guess what? The father played more so of the part of giving that his daughter to wife, because he's the one who decides whether this man is fit. Now, the mother can give her suggestions or input, but at the end of the day, he's the one that makes that decision, whether her input or suggestions be bypassed or not. You see? Because we're the head as men. We make the decisions. So once again, 1 Corinthians 11:3, and it reads, "But I will have you know that the head of every man is the anointed." Right? That's our Lord Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. "And the head of the woman is the man. And the head of the anointed is the Most High, whose name is Yahweh." Right? So continuing on, let me get Job, the 39th chapter, because as I said before, man, women are impudent. And that's not knocking a woman. That's just what the woman, that's the reality. So if you don't like it, fuck off and kick rocks. Because ultimately, you don't like the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Because myself, as well as the brethren out there pushing the word, teaching, so on and so forth, are only in accordance with Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So if you don't like us, you don't like the Lord. Fuck you. Right? So continuing on, Job 39. And you people are pussies, man. Job 39 and 14, and it reads, "Which leaveth her eggs in the earth, and warmeth them in the dust, and forgetteth that the foot may crush them, and that the wild beast may break them. She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear, because the Most High have deprived her of wisdom, neither hath he imparted to her understanding." And that's applied to women, right? The women are on a lower level than men. And we're for sure as hell not equal, So when it comes to decision making, but more so vital and exceedingly significant decision making, it ought to be done by men. Right? So now let me go to the book of Ecclesiasticus, the 7th chapter, starting at the 23rd verse. And it reads, "Hast thou children, instruct them and bow down their neck from their youth? Hast thou daughters, have a care of their body, and shew not thyself cheerful toward them?" And why is that? That's because if you shew yourself too cheerful towards your daughters, their fear of you will decrease from, But if you're more serious and stoic and solemn, and they, hard to read and stuff like that, their fear is, more so present. And yes, daughters are to fear their of course. And so are wives to fear their husbands. Women are to fear men, period. Right? Women are to contain the fear and reverence and I was going to say respect, but you can only respect men who deserve that respect and are fit to, receive it. Like you ain't, you can't really, but you know what I mean. But fear and reverence, like they said in the clip, Pookie. I mean, let me see something really quick. Let me make sure. Let me see. Hold tight. Yeah, see right here. Let me see. See, have due regard for the feeling. Let me see. Really recognize. See, so right here with the word respect, it says a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievements. So Pookie, Pookie and Ray Ray and Tyrone, that's not really going to be channeled toward them. But respect as in, at the end of the day, this is a man, yeah. I'm talking about how you women operate, right? Because at the end of the day, you're a woman. So, but, like, it's not your duty to get all on the men. Hell fucking no, man. It's the men's job to do that. The scriptures tell you that, not to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. So, that's what I'm, saying. I just got to make sure I'm clear and not, saying nothing that don't need to be said. But let's see. Verse 25, and it reads, marry thy daughter, and so shall thou have performed a weighty matter, but give her to a man of understanding. And men contain more understanding than women. And men are more properly capable, or capable to properly make decisions. See? Because we operate off of logic, you women operate off of feelings. And feelings aren't to be too involved with decision making. Right? That's just what it is. So let's see. Continuing on. Let me get Ecclesiasticus, the 26th chapter, starting at verse 10. And it reads, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. See, watch over an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he hath found a fountain, and drink of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down, and open her quiver against every arrow. And the quiver is talking about her hoo-ha, and the arrow is talking about the rod of a man. So it's going into a woman being a slut, man. But that's why you have to have that hedge established with your boundaries, standards, and rules. You see? And that leads me right to it, matter of fact. Let's see, we got 12. So let me get Ecclesiasticus 36 and 25. And it reads, where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. And the possession is talking about the wife, or in general the women, because you women are indeed property, right? First, you're property of your father, but when your father gives you off to marriage, as it is supposed to be done, you're transferred from being your father. Well, you're still Your father's property. But you're transferred from your father unto the husband, right? See? Right? So Ecclesiasticus 36, and I'll start at 24, and it reads, He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. Right? And a help like unto himself, because the word woman means female servant, but the word man means servant as well. Right? But the point is, the man is a servant unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai, or is to be a servant unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and the woman's purpose is to serve the man. Right? And once again, the man's purpose is to serve the Lord. Right? And so it says, and a pillar of rest. And then it says, where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. Still talking about the wife. And he that hath no wife will wander up and down mourning. Right? So, continuing on, let me get 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter. I may have already got it, but just in case I didn't, I'll get it again. And it reads, all scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of the Most High may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. See, so once again, going into how the word of the Lord is the standard. And see, it's the duty of men to employ, right, and establish that standard, whether it be in a relationship, in a household, so on and so forth. The scriptures tell you, through wisdom is a house builded. See? So it's the man's duty to instill that wisdom. Right? So continuing on, right? Let's get we could get it. Genesis 29, just to give a scriptural example. Yeah, we'll get it. Genesis 29, starting at verse 10. And it reads, and it came to pass when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother. So that would be what they call now an uncle today. And the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. And Jacob kissed Rachel and lifted up his voice and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother, and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father. And it came to pass when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob, his sister's son, that he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him to the house, to his house. And he told Laban all these things. And Laban said to him, surely thou art my bone and my flesh, right? Meaning we're of the same kin. And he abode with him the space of a month. And Laban said unto Jacob, because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. Right? And this is the point, verse 19. And Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. Right? And it's inherently clear that he said that because Jacob met the standards that he ought to meet, or the standards that Laban had set for, his daughter's potential husband. Right? So, let's see. Okay, so, oh snap, that's pretty much the point. But then I have these articles, right? So, well, this isn't an article, but, the elder brother had showed this as well, but I want to, show it as well. So the question is, why did kings marry off their daughters, and not just kings, and not only kings, but fathers in general in the ancient times did that more so, or usually. So it says, fathers tried to marry their daughters off to acquire more land, titles, and increase social status, but they also had to provide a dowry for their daughter. A dowry could include anything from money to land, and the larger the dowry, the more desirable the girl was to her future husband and his family. See? And this goes into it as well. It says, giving away the bride, what to know about the tradition, right? So it says, in traditional weddings, the father of the bride walks her down the aisle and hands her off to the groom. If this seems old-fashioned, that is because it is. The practice dates back to the days when women were the property of their father, and women are the property of their father. And following marriage, the women are transferred from the husband to being the property of the husband. Transferred from the father to being the property of the husband. Right? Women are indeed property. And that's not oppressive or no bullshit like that. That's the way it ought to be. Right? You see that out there in the Middle East. So let's see, and it says, and he gave her away in exchange for a dowry. See, look at that. This antiquated practice has evolved, and many modern brides now derive great meaning from it. And see, the great meaning behind things has been derived from a lot. Like I gave the example of, you have the word wife, and then you have the word girlfriend, and all this other bullshit. You have the word husband, and you have boyfriend, and baby daddy, and baby father, and all this stupid shit. Right? So, that's pretty much the point of this lesson. With that, Lord willing, you were edified. Once again and forever, all praises, honor, and glorification unto our power. Call Halain La Alahayan Awa Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. Salutations as well as health and wellness unto you, sincere Akim, and few sincere Akwad. See you in the next lesson, Lord willing. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai Babakasha Abababo. Shalom. DTA soon and stay sharp. Keep pushing, watching, as well as praying. Shalom.